pick you up early. Around 7:30, we'll go to an early show and... Come on, Jill, don't look so serious.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Dave. I can't go out with you tonight.
Well, what gives anyway? You got a family party on or something?
No, it's nothing to do with the family. I don't know how to say this, Dave, but... I'm dating Jimmy Dawson.
Give me that again?
I'm dating Jimmy Dawson.
That show-off? Who thinks he's such a big football hero? What's the idea? You falling for his phony shoulders or something?
He asked me to go out with him, that's all, and I said I would.
What about the little matter of going steady with me?
I decided it's time we broke up. It's stupid for kids our age to keep going out with the same person year after year.
I guess your mother thought up that line.
She did not. I can make up my own mind. Look, I told Jimmy that I'd meet him after school this afternoon. He's waiting for me right down over by the corner, so I better go now.
Yeah. I guess a guy has to have a car to impress a girl like you. Along with some phony shoulders. Well, your boyfriend better watch out. Because he might meet a guy with a Cadillac someday. And then where'll he be?
But even if we don't beat Western, we still have a mathematical chance of getting in the playoffs.
How come?
Well, you see, we're one game up on them now.
What are you going to do?
Our games with Lincoln High. Western still has a game with them.
And they haven't beaten Lincoln all year.
That's right. That's what I say.
Pretty good guy, though.
Hi,
Hello, Dave. How's it going?
Man, lousy English exam, old man.
Yeah.
Peterson sprung on us today, huh?
Yeah, lousy is right. I never even knew there was such a thing as George in poets. How was I supposed to name him?
I put down George. I figured there ought to be at least one Georgian poet named George.
Boy, Peterson will get you for that. He's still mad about the time you brought him the bunch of daffodils after we studied that poem about daffodils by Wordsworth.
Yeah.
Peterson's crazy about me.
Hey. Is that the new sophomore?
Yeah. You never guessed she was only 14.
Telling me. Wow.
Say, Dave, what happened to your steady? There she is with Jim Dawson.
We had a fight. Dawson has a car, and boy, does it ever impress that doll.
Yeah, it's those flashy white wall tires that send her.
She wants to get into the big time, Davy boy. Captain of the football team and all that.
Well, I was getting kind of sick of her anyway. That Dawson, what a show-off. You know, he really thinks he's somebody? Well, as far as I'm concerned, they deserve each other.
Hey, Dave, how come you didn't turn out to football practice all week?
Because I quit the crummy team, that's why. Coach, he doesn't know what he's doing. And the team's going downhill so fast it isn't even funny. I'm going over to see what gives with the new doll.
Did you hear about Dave? Coach left him on the bench during the whole of last Saturday's game. Boy, was Dave mad. He quit the team right the next day.
He hasn't anything to be sore about. He thinks the team can't get along without him. He's kidding himself. Let's face it, he's just not that good.
Well, they beat us 3 out of 4, but we're a lot better than we were then. They hit their peak just about that time, and I don't think they've gotten any better.
Hi, Jill. How you doing?
Oh, hi. Boy, I'm really outnumbered now. I gotta go, Jill. I'll see you tonight. About 8?
Sure.
So long.
I thought you went steady with Dave Forsythe. Gee, I always thought Dave was cute. He's okay. He acts like a kid, though. But he's so funny in class. You should go out with him. All those wild tricks were so funny.
I always thought Dave acted like a kid, too. You can only take so much of that fooling around.
Honest, he's like a big baby the way he shows off. You should have seen him last Monday in the hall at school.
Hey, Dawson, I'd like to speak to you for a minute.
Sure, Dave.
I guess you think you're pretty smart playing up to the coach last Saturday and getting him to leave me out of the game.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You got your wires crossed, boy.
Who are you trying to kid? I saw you talking to the coach just before the game, and I could see you looking straight at me. Pretty dirty trick fixing it so I couldn't play.
Dave, for Pete's sake.
We were talking about the new play, Dave. We didn't mention you once.
Oh, come off it, Forsythe. You know, it's possible the coach doesn't think you're good enough.
I know a dirty deal when I see one.
Ah, you're nuts.
It was awful. I was so embarrassed I nearly died. This wasn't the first time that Dave acted like that either. I was really fed up. And then, well, Jimmy asked me to go out with him a couple of days later, and I thought it'd be terrific. He's so nice. Well, he acts his age. Are you going to go steady with Jimmy now? Oh, I don't know. This is the first time I've gone out with him.
I don't blame you for telling Dave off. He's an awful mama's boy. Gee, I gotta be going.
Yeah, me too.
Can't you say excuse me to your mother for being late?
I'm sorry, Mom. Excuse me.
Your mother can't keep dinner waiting just because you feel like hanging around the streets a little longer.
I said I was sorry, didn't I?
It's just another indication of your constant thoughtlessness and irresponsibility.
Say, Dad, do you think I could have the car tonight? I'll take real good care of it, and I'll fill it up with gas when I bring it back.
What do you want with the car?
Gee, Dad, girls won't go out with a fella unless he got a car.
I think Jill Anderson out long enough without a car.
Well, she left me for a guy with a car.
That, dear?
Oh, that crummy show-off, Jim Dawson.
He's a good boy, young Dawson. And I understand from his father that he saved his money and bought that car himself.
Dad, are you going to let me have the car or not?
No, I am not. You're too young to be running around in cars at night with girls.
I'm 16, aren't I? I've got a license. What's the sense of having a license if you can't drive the car?
Why don't you let him use it this once, Fred? It's true. Boys nowadays need cars to take girls out. All the mothers say so. Well, this afternoon at Lucy Fillmore's, they were saying that...
Look, Lila, you know I need that car in my work. Now, if he got in an accident, what would I do? Anyway, what does he do with all the money he makes at the grocery store? Let him save his money and buy a car just like young Dawson.
All I ever hear around here is money. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I never get to do anything the other kids do. And the excuse you always give me is money.
All right, that's about enough, young man. I didn't come home from a hard day's work just to get impertinence from you.
You always treat me as though I were about 6 years old.
That's because you act like you were 6 years old.
Fred!
Lila, something has got to be done about that boy. He's unstable, he's irresponsible, can't save money, he's girl crazy. Why, when they wouldn't let him play in Saturday's game, he quit the squad.
Fred, sit down. Stop being so excited. He's young. Things like having a car mean a lot to him. Oh, maybe I've babied him, but... You know, Fred, you haven't always set the best example for him. Being your son, he wants to be like you. He wants to copy you. And you have to admit you blow your top awfully easily sometimes. Like tonight. You bawled him out without even asking him why he was late. And lately, you've nagged him from morning till night. Can't you say something nice to him once in a while?
I can't seem to get near the boy.
You expect too much of him. I wish you'd arrange something nice for the two of you. Something you could do together. Couldn't you get together for a Saturday?
Lila, I don't mean to be hard on the boy. Really. Look, I'll try to think up something that we can do together. And in the meantime, how about you going up and talking to him about being more responsible? Frankly, his attitude worries me.
Dave, dear, don't be so upset. You must try to understand how your father feels about the car. You know, perhaps if you saved up some of the money yourself, he'd help you buy one.
He won't help me with anything. Doesn't trust me. I wouldn't hurt his crummy old car. Always acts as though I was a dumb kid.
Well, Dave, you should show him you're responsible. Lately, you've been awfully rebellious. You know how angry it makes him.
Never notices anything good I do. Just yells all the time.
I wish you wouldn't be like this. Well, I'll leave your dessert in the refrigerator for you. Well, I certainly didn't get very far. He can be terribly stubborn. You know, Fred, he said you never notice when he tries to please you. Sometimes I wonder if we don't set up standards that are just a little too high for him. And then when he can't come up to them, he gets angry and snaps at everyone. I think he's really anxious to please you.
I think I'll go up and have a talk with him. See if I can't work something out. Dave, may I come in? Dave, I'm sorry about our argument, but I wish you'd try to see my point of view about this car business. Look, since you won't be with the team Saturday, how'd you like to see the game with me?
No, thank you.
What do you mean, no, thank you? Look, I've had about all I can take from a young brat like you. Despite your bad behavior, I came up here and tried to be friends. I even apologized. You didn't even try to respond like a human being. Something's going to be done about you.
Dad, this is Jimmy.
Jimmy, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hello, Mr. Anderson.
It's quite a car you've got there.
Yeah, it's a real bomb, sir.
Well, I hope when you drive it as a car, not as a bomb.
Oh, Jimmy's a good driver, Dad.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Why don't we go ahead and sit over there for a while?
Okay. Give me a fight.
Give me a fight, too.
Did I hurt you?
It serves you right for asking me.
Where you going? You gonna go for a ride with me?
No.
Oh, come on. You will?
Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
10 minutes. Dave.
Oh, yes, Mr. Anderson. What's that?
How did Dave get into a situation like this? It seems impossible. But Dave was emotionally unstable. He didn't think straight about what he was doing. Why can't Dave face facts and accept life as it is? Why does he have such an exaggerated idea of his own importance and ability that he can't see things as they are? Because he can't fit the real world into his unreal idea of how it should be, he is so frustrated that he loses control of himself. With help, Dave can learn to control these emotions and develop more mature attitudes. But how could his emotional instability have been prevented?